I'm Bookkeeper, and I'll be playing the Reverend Dr. Alexander Hutcheson, the Avalon Scholar.
I'm Clara Allison, and I'm playing Lucia di Felici, the Vodace Strega.
Hi, I'm Glamour. I'm playing Viviana Lucani, the Vodace courtesan and daughter of Sophia.
Hi, I'm Overthinker. I'm playing Alonso Hernandez, the Castellan swordsman on a quest.
Hello, my name is Typhoon, and I will be playing Heinrich von Groth, the Isen war veteran.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I'll be your storyteller for the evening.
Previously on Opus the Requiem. At the ball, our valiant heroes met with my future mother-in-law, La Grande Dame, where I revealed my true identity and even truer love. While the Grande Dame left to confirm my story, the rest of our friends discussed the implications of such information. Perhaps Henri never wrote the letters at all. Can Alonso's stomach being in such proximity to a sorceress? Does Henri love me at all? Well, that last one was silly. Of course he does. Upon her return, she furiously revealed Henri was discovered to be missing from Le Donjon, where she had locked him away for his own protection for speaking ill of the Emperor. After we convinced her we had nothing to do with his escape, she tasked us with discovering how it was done and where he is now. When she left, Francesca took a moment to reveal to me her own secret, her true name, Viviana Lucani. Viviana, Heinrich, and I had decided to leave the party, while Alexander and Alonso decided to stay and flirt with pretty people. However, barely halfway back home, I remembered my signet ring and letter. Of course, I was forced to sprint back to the party to retrieve them. Alexander even made an enemy of La Grande Dame by interrupting her to get my dearest possessions back. When Viviana and I returned to our quarters for the evening, she had one more reveal. She too is a sorcerer. However, she has some strange scrying magic that I'd never seen before. It would have been more impressive if it had worked, though.
We are picking up from the next morning. And we are going to start at Chateau de Chatelaine, where the ladies are currently staying. My understanding is that Lucia had a rough night trying to sleep, so we will start with Viviana.
Viviana, I believe, had a somewhat restful night. She went to bed frustrated with herself, but, things happen.
How does Viviana start her morning?
The first thing she's doing, as she wakes up, is as always in the morning, she says hello to Sposa. And then she will stare at the bowl with water and debate going over to it again and just doing it now, but she'll decide that she should give herself a bit of time to calm down and go about her normal routine. She'll probably have the servants draw her a bath.
Okay. While she is bathing, Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
You wake to the sound of movement and activity outside of your door and the door beside yours. Or the bedroom beside yours, I should say. It's not overly loud. People aren't banging around or whatever.
I've had a really bad night, so I think I want to stay asleep.
Okay. Would you like to roll me just a base resolve check to see if you can ignore it and go back to sleep?
Yeah.
Let's see just how stubborn you can be. We're aiming for a D. Well, you didn't
15?
wait, but okay.
Well, I'm
That's
not gonna
fine.
answer this.
You met the base. You met the base check, so it's fine. I was only gonna ask for a 10, so 15 is fine. You managed to roll over and go back to sleep.
for a little context for Viviana, you would have, if you're a light sleeper, heard Lucia fall out of bed last night.
You actually would have heard her fall a couple of times.
Viviana, I think, definitely would have, like, woken up because she sleeps well, but she is a light sleeper. So I think she definitely would have woken up, gone over to Lucia's room, knocked on the door very softly, and just, like, whispered, "Are you okay?"
Whatever sound was made, probably just another snore. Like, it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And at some point, she would have just been like, "I guess she just is a rambunctious sleeper."
Okay. Well, since the ladies are sleeping or bathing, we will move on. Heinrich.
Yes.
I need you to start by taking a drama die.
Okay.
Before you left the party last night, the second time, you checked in with Raoul. He assured you he would be fine and get home on his own. And as you live closer to the home where the party happened, you suggested that he come by and stay with your family rather than trying to get home across the city. Or, trying to use sorcery while very drunk. To which he agreed. When you wake up in the morning, there is no mention of him coming by from the servants as they begin to prepare you for the day.
How peculiar. I will go write him a brief message and asking asking him to confirm that he arrived at his home, and I will send a messenger off to his house to deliver it.
Okay. Well, you do get confirmation from your servants that he did not show up the night before. And what do you do to go about your day while your messenger is off running around?
He would just do his normal routine, kind of spend time with the family, putter around the house, practice, exercise, practice his sword, kind of his normal things while waiting for a reply.
Alonso.
Yes.
How does your morning begin?
Well, assuming Alonso stayed out as late as the Reverend Doctor, or saw him out of the party before leaving, I imagine it was pretty late. So Alonso's morning starts off groggy.
It was pretty late. However, you know that he was still at the party when you left, and he insisted that you go on ahead. Because it was very, very late. And the lovely Sylvie had already left. You, however, saw the doctor with two lovely ladies on his arm.
Great. Yeah, I think a little tipsy, he found his way back to the inn. Wakes up, boots still on. Oh. What the fuck happened last night? Okay. Throws water on his face. Changes out of his slightly ruffled, nice clothes and into like normal running around wear. And he's got a lot to think on, and he's not sure who to talk to, or where the people he might talk to are. So after writing down some of his thoughts, he composes a quick letter to be sent under certain circumstances. Probably back to family. And goes down to enjoy breakfast while trying to figure out what the heck we're going to do next.
Okay. You are able to get yourself some breakfast after you compose your letter. What exactly is in the letter?
It's kind of like the journal. It's like, I've come into this strange situation. I'm friendly with a known heretic, a well-known heretic. I've discovered that one of my companions is not only a beautiful Vidachin, but also a terrifying Strega. The Ison, whose people fought so vehemently against the Vadacine, seems the most level-headed of the bunch. I came to Montaigne to find something different, to see what it was like, and it's different.
Okay, so you are open with your family about the fact that you are spending time with a known heretic.
Yes, but it is written and unsent at the moment.
Okay, good to know. You will have to inform me if you send it.
Indeed.
All right. While you are puzzling over your breakfast, trying to decide what you're going to do, who you're going to go talk to, if the letter's going to get sent, how you're going to handle this whole situation, we will loop back to the ladies.
I don't think that I'm getting back to sleep.
Lucia, you managed to sleep for a little while. But eventually there is a knock at your door. And when you kind of like give that sort of muffled, unintelligible sound that could have been a groan of go away or could have been a come in, it's unclear, a well-meaning and unassuming maid makes her way inside. Madame, it is morning. The lady has called for a bath for you.
Thank you. Is Viviana available?
She is getting dressed. She just finished her own bath.
I would need to speak to her.
Would you like to bathe first?
All right.
Okay. You are given a little bit more time to kind of doze. You can't fully sleep because there are people who kind of come to your room. There's like a steady stream of people with buckets of heated water. But eventually you are left alone in the room with a not overly large but decently deep tub for you to kind of scrub off in. A maid offers to help. She's unclear exactly what your status is and if you were accustomed to having people who help you with these things or if you handle it on your own.
I think regardless of her status, Lucia's shoes are off. She's having a little bit of Lady Macbeth trying to like scrub bad dreams off.
Okay, so you send the servants out so that you can bathe yourself.
Yeah.
You are able to bathe. A servant does come back in to help you back into your dress because it's the only dress you have with you.
Shit.
So you have to be tied back into it.
Hold on. Does Viviana not have any other dresses?
Well, Viviana would have lent Lucia a dress. One of her, like...
It's not
like,
gonna be the most best fitting dress. Look, I'm pretty sure Viviana is taller than you.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Okay. In that case, you are laced into a not terribly well-fitting dress. It is a bit long, and wider in the shoulders than you typically would wear. You do notice throughout the process of helping you get into your dress. Actually, let me see. Let me look at your sheet. Do you notice? Let's see.
No, please.
Make me a wits and cold read.
Oh God. Okay.
We're looking at a target number 10. Should be roll 3, keep 2.
No, I know. 18.
Excellent. Okay. I was like, well, you forgot earlier, so I'm reminding you.
No, you're good. You're good. Now that I'm doing it, I'm good.
Occasionally, as they are helping you, you notice a couple of the maids glancing towards your feet.
Oh, come on! Lucia has. I've never been self-conscious about anything, and this is the worst. I think she fully just asks, like, what?
Nothing, mademoiselle.
You're obviously looking. What is it?
Well, this isn't gonna be something that you could just do. You do have sincerity, though. Let's go with panache and sincerity. Target number 20 to get them to speak up and potentially risk insulting you. That you did not hit 20.
No. I don't think I can get to 20 even if I spent a drama die.
You might be able to. You only need a 7.
No, I'm gonna go around this. I'm gonna go around the dice rolls. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, they both just sort of shake their head. It's nothing, madame. You just came in without shoes. We wanted to make sure your feet were okay.
Did Heinrich not leave me with my shoes
he
after?
left you with your shoes, but I imagine that it is much like it is in real life, where once you get to the end of the night, those shoes come off. They don't go back on.
Yeah, they're not going back on. No, that's valid.
Especially because you were only moving from the carriage to the front door. So.
Yeah, you're valid. Ugh. All right. When Lucia's done bathing and redressing and interrogating the servants about why they're being weird, I'd love to see Viviana.
Okay. Viviana, after you bathed and were dressed, the servants would have informed you that your companion wished your company for breakfast. But if you would prefer, they will bring you breakfast alone, and you can meet with her after.
Viviana will go see Lucia immediately. She's bringing the bowl and water with her. She's trying this again.
Okay. Before we jump into that, we are going to go back to Heinrich. Your runner, the servant that you sent out with the message, returns with a note back from your betrothed, stating that her uncle did not return home last night.
Most peculiar. So, a mechanical question. You gave me a drama die earlier. Was that activating loyalty?
It was.
Something else? Okay, what I was trying to figure out. So I am
Also,
compelled
just the
by
general
loyalty to
problem
find
of the fact that one of your companions is just not where he's supposed to be.
Okay. Well, he could be in trouble, or he could have gotten quite intoxicated and gone to someone else's house. But I suppose that I shall have to find out what happened to him. So the last place that I know he was the party. So he'll have his servants get his horse ready, and then he will go back to the location of the party.
Okay. Alonso,
Mm-hmm.
you have had your breakfast. What's the plan?
Now, I met Viviana at Chateau de Chatelaine. Do I know she's staying there?
No.
the only
Unless she would have told you. Viviana?
She would not have told you.
Okay.
Cool. So the only person who I know where they live, I know for a fact didn't go home last night.
You didn't see him go home. You left before him. He could have gone home.
Two possible paths here. Yeah, let's see if he made it.
All right, so you were headed to the university?
Yep.
Excellent. So while you were on your way to the university, Heinrich is on his way back to the party and the mansion where it took place. Heinrich, you arrive. It is much quieter this morning than it was yesterday. Although it is important to note to those of you who are moving out and about in the city itself is not quiet. We are still in the middle of the Emperor's birthday celebrations. So there is celebration in the streets. There is yet another parade going on. You see musketeers kind of everywhere, and a lot of crowds of people and merchants with stalls, and it's a very busy morning.
Having had to make the markets on time several times, I think Alonso has developed a habit of being out the door before roads start closing for parades.
Okay. Heinrich, you arrive at the chateau where the party happened.
And so, yeah, he rides up on his horse. Important to note that the horse is appropriately sized for him. It is an enormous black warhorse. And yeah, he hops off his horse and clanks his way up to the gate.
You are met. You're actually able to go through the gate. The gates are open. You get the feeling that they've probably got merchants and servants and everything kind of coming and going all day after a party like that. And potentially preparing for like the next party to happen whenever that's going to go on. So you are able to make your way inside of the gate, and you are met at the door by a servant, an elderly man who looks very proper and stiff in the way that older servants who have spent their entire life looking after the people of the household tend to look. Yes.
Good morning. I attended the party here last night, and one of my companions that I arrived with seems to have not arrived at home.
And do you
By
have
chance-
his name?
Yes, Raoul Cissé du Cissé.
I see. I can tell you, sir, that he left. towards the end of the festivities, but we do not know where he went after that.
Do you recall if he left by himself or in the company of another?
He seems to pause and think for a moment. He left at the same time as a number of others, but he did not seem to be with them.
And did he depart? Did he take a carriage? Was he walking or riding a horse?
I believe he was walking.
And which direction did he walk?
He sort of gives a little shrug and sort of gestures like down the street. There's kind of only like two directions he could have gone, so he gestures to the east.
Left or right, basically.
Yep.
Thank you for your assistance.
Of course, monsieur. I hope you find him.
And he will mount back up on his horse and start riding in that direction, paying particular attention looking for any taverns that might be in that direction.
Okay, give me. Well, let's do wits and perception. Target number. Let's say target number 10 to just find any tavern you would like. For every raise above that, I'll let you like narrow down the list to the most likely culprits.
Okay. Since I rolled a 14, I guess I will do a drama die on that.
Excellent.
So 20.
All right. Well, you didn't call for a raise, so you are able to find a list of potential taverns. Really, what it's just going to come down to is going in and checking every single one of them, which is going to take some time.
And that is what he will do. He will start checking as many taverns as he can in that direction. Basically walk in, describe the time that he may have arrived, what he looks like, his general demeanor, and just start asking if anybody has seen him.
Excellent. Okay. That's gonna take up a good chunk of your morning, but I will circle back to you after. Alonso, you arrive at the university, and are met by a clearly somewhat hungover academic, with thick spectacles perched on his nose, and are informed that the good doctor did not return to the university the night before.
I see. Thank you. While I am here, if I may inquire, you have a vast collection of books. Do you have a section on Vaticine literature? Perhaps?
He pauses and gives you a look that is somewhat incredulous. We have literature that was written by members of the church, but not church doctrine.
Thank you. I may return to peruse.
You
Thank
will
you.
need a member of the university to give you access.
Indeed. When I have found the Reverend Doctor, I will have one.
He nods, and assuming that you were turning to leave, you get the distinct feeling that he is kind of narrow-eyed, staring at your retreating back.
Typical. You see what we religious people have to deal with.
Oh yeah, that's a good way of interpreting that.
All right, so the Reverend Doctor is either still at the party's location or left from it recently. Perhaps to a pub. So interestingly, I think I'm going to go check bars around the location of the party. On the off chance that I bump into a friend.
Okay. When you get to the party, you are met by the same kind of stiffed back, older gentleman who tells you that the Reverend Doctor left at the end of the night, towards the end of the night anyway, in the company of a young woman.
Indeed. And in which direction do you think?
He
That way.
he gets this odd look on his face. It is that look of somebody who is experiencing deja vu, and then he points to the east.
Grazie.
And now we are going to pivot back to the ladies, where Viviana is entering Lucia's room as Lucia is being a servant is in the process of doing her best to pin the dress so that it doesn't like hang around you in an almost lewd manner. Or doesn't make you look like a homeless ragamuffin.
Viviana sighs when she sees the fit of the dress and says, maybe it would be better for you to stay in the dress that you came in. What is more comfortable?
I don't know what's worse, going back out in the dress I wore last night, or in a dress that doesn't fit. I suppose if this hampers any kind of walking, we will have a problem.
We are not leaving the house for now. It should be fine.
We need to leave the house.
Yes, I knew we would be leaving at some point, but I assumed you wanted to talk and not walk and talk.
Lucia genuinely considers this. Oh, probably. No, we should stay inside and talk. I need to... You're being very kind, and I do not want to burden you with that.
If I considered your burdens particularly bothersome, I wouldn't have invited you back to the place where I am staying.
I am concerned that it is only going to be more dangerous if you stay with me.
Viviana fully, just chuckles at that. We are from Vodace. I am accustomed to being in the company of people who attract danger. I attract danger.
You did not say why you were in Montaigne.
You're right, I didn't. And perhaps, should things go well, I will tell you.
I will take that as enough consent. We do need, however, to speak to Alonso.
Yes, but before that, there is something I must do. She, gestures to the bowl she's carrying. It's the same bowl you saw her use last night.
Did you not already have a bath?
No, it's not for bathing. Have the servants left the room at this point? Or are they still trying to wrangle?
I assumed it would have become clear that this was meant to be a private conversation, and they would have left shortly after you guys started talking.
Yes. Viviana, again, just laughs a bit and says, "No, this is not for bathing." She goes up to Lucia's dresser, places the bowl down. "I intend to try again. I told you I would."
The most incredulous face.
I don't blame you for doubting me. I would doubt me in your shoes.
Well, by all means, do not let me stop you.
She would have filled the bowl with water before coming here. So
I am double checking your target number. Because I know it's higher when you haven't met the person.
yeah, you said it was 25 last time.
Then let's go with 25 again.
Okay. I will expend a drama die.
Don't spend your drama die until you've already rolled.
No, I have to expend a drama die to use, right?
Yes, sorry. Okay, my bad. I was like, don't add in drama die until you've rolled. You may not need it.
Okay.
Very close.
That is much better than last time. So I will spend a drama die. Okay. And I will spend my final drama die. That's a 10. Yep.
Excellent. Roll again.
Okay.
Okay. So you spent a total of 3 between activation and rolling, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I got my numbers right. Take one of those back.
I will.
And I'm having that happen because as Lucia watches you lower your face into this bowl, there is a moment, Lucia, where you are sure she's about to pull her face back up and in frustration like she did the night before. But instead, she stays in that position, eerily still, almost like a statue, for an uncomfortably long period of time. Viviana, you feel the water pass across your face as you lower into it, starting at your nose and then spreading along the tip of your nose to your lips, your eyebrows, up to your forehead, and you can feel it just barely kissing the roots of your hair at your forehead and your temples. And then you don't feel it anymore. Instead, it feels like you have been wrapped in something, or being gripped by something. It is almost, it is uncomfortable at a level that it is almost painful. As your eyes open and you find yourself in a not terribly well-lit room with 2 beds, 2 single beds, one tucked into either corner, heavy footlockers at the foot of the beds, and small like nightstand style tables next to either bed. Sleeping in either bed is the figure of what is clearly a man. 2 different men, obviously. And you are sort of just standing there and looking feeling a little bewildered and a little unsure. When you recognize that there is, or you turn and you go to one of the beds to kind of like try and get a peek at the face of the man sleeping in it, and he's doesn't sound like the description you were given. His hair is black. His skin is a little bit darker than you would anticipate from typical Montaigne nobility. And so you turn towards the other bed and are startled to find the figure of a woman standing over him. She is draped in a simultaneously gauzy and very opaque type of, it looks like fabric. But you realize as she is standing there that there is a pool of water at her feet. And she kind of lifts these wide eyes that almost look like all it is the white sclera, and a pupil, but you realize that there is an iris. It's just such a pale shade of blue. It almost gets lost. And she stares at you, and you hear a voice that is like disembodied, kind of echo through the room and in your head at the same time. It says, "You are running out of time, daughter." And you have just a moment to watch the young man in the bed that she is standing next to sit bolt upright, and to catch what his face looks like before you are thrust back out of the vision, and you are still like face down in the water bowl.
Viviana immediately bolts upright, like whips up from looking, gasps in a breath, even though it was no trouble breathing while her face was in the water, and says, "That is not good."
What did you do?
I told you, I can see things that are happening even if I'm not there, and I saw, I was in this dim room, and there were two men sleeping on the beds, and one of them did not look like Henri. The other one did. And standing over him was a woman, and she warned me that I was running out of time. And that she was leaning over Henri, and she said, and when she looked at me, she said I was running out of time. And that does not seem good.
Do people often talk to you when you scry?
This has never happened before.
This has never happened to me before. I will admit I am not the most practiced in this art, but I have done it before and this has never happened.
Was the woman familiar? What was she wearing?
She was wearing this opaque fabric, and there was water at her feet, and her eyes were almost completely white. Viviana takes a moment to think to herself as she says that description, and as she thinks over the woman telling her, "You are running out of time, daughter." Was this figure, familiar in any way? Did she feel familiar?
Roll me. Let's go raw wits.
Okay.
We're looking for target number 15.
I will expend the drama die that I got back.
Okay.
That's a 10.
There's a moment where you're baffled and like, I don't know what this is or who it could be. Maybe somebody with sorcery has managed to tamper with my sorcery. And then it dawns on you. Yeah, no, she feels very familiar. She feels like someone you have known your whole life but never met in person.
Viviana blinks, and as she seems to be staring off into the distance, like she's trying to see a picture that's not quite there. And she mutters under her breath, "The Oracle?"
As you try and focus on the face in your head, that mental image, the more you try to remember, the less you can. The more you try to recall, the less you can remember the details and the specifics. But you are left with that bone deep impression that this is someone that you are intimately tied to.
She felt familiar. I cannot place her face, but she felt familiar.
And I will say, you do not feel at all like she meant you any sort of harm, now that you, dwell on that.
I don't think she was malicious. I don't think this was someone with sorcery hijacking this. I know her. I can't place.
Is Henri's running out of time?
Yes. And Viviana silently debates in her head whether she was saying Henri is running out of time or whether she was saying I am running out of time to do what I came here to do. She
That
doesn't
is
say
not
that out
something you are sure about.
but she contemplates it.
You saw him. Were you able to discern where he was?
No, I don't think so. I saw him sleeping in a bed. And there was another man across from him. I can't place where the building was. It was a dim room.
You do get the feeling it was dim because they were sleeping, so it's probably that whatever room they were in, if it had a window, you didn't bother to look. That window was probably covered.
I get the impression that he is in hiding.
Well,
Or no. The window may have simply been covered because they were sleeping.
like a monk's cloisters?
It was
What?
not a well-appointed room. It was very plain.
The room was very plain, only basic necessities.
Lucia makes a face. I don't think Henri would have become a priest.
I do not think Henri has become a priest. I mean, he could have, but that feels like a very random decision.
I have more they would not keep that secret. Lucia's having... This is the strangest answer we could have gotten, I think. I genuinely do not know what to do with what you have done. We are running out of time and we do not know where he is, except that it is poorly appointed. And he's
Yes.
obviously alive because he is asleep rather than dead. Oh, shit. He looked alive, right?
He looked alive. I think he jolted awake at the end of it. Dead bodies do not do that.
Okay, he is alive. I suppose we can start a search with the local parishes?
Before we do that, we should probably meet up with the others.
Yes, oh! I need to speak to Alonso and I may need your help.
What do you want to speak to him about?
You remember the reaction he had yesterday to everything?
Yes, I do remember.
I am concerned about him. And perhaps his motivations around us.
You should always be concerned about the motivations of men around you.
I try to be. It's been a very odd few months. I had a thought as to how I do not want him running off and telling someone about us.
Yes, that would be quite troublesome.
I have had the thought to purchase his services as a bodyguard to keep him closer.
Well, he is from the Swordsman Guild. He would be a good bodyguard.
And if the Villanovas come after us, he'll throw himself in front of them.
Exactly.
2 problems roughly solved.
Now you are thinking like a Vodachan.
I always did.
Even when you decided to run across Montaigne at night in a beautiful dress without shoes.
We are a passionate people.
Yeah, I suppose.
Viviana, it
Alonso?
occurs to you that she might be confusing the Vodachans with the Castians?
That's true.
Viviana says, actually, are you sure you're not confusing us with Alonso? It is the Castellans who are passionate. We are
passionate, they are fiery, there is a difference.
I suppose.
Besides, have you not read The Love Story?
Yes, I read love stories. I stopped reading them as I grew older.
Perhaps you should start again.
If I have spare time.
Well, I would take advantage of it if I could read.
Well, we are out of Vodace. If you are not already under the Reverend Doctor's tutelage, perhaps I could show you a thing or two.
The Reverend Doctor has offered to help as well. It is on the list of things to do, along with find Henri, get married, have millions of babies, and live happily ever after. And not die.
Yes, on the list of things to do. A list of many, many things to do.
But yes, we should send for Alonso.
We should.
All right. I'm going to assume that at this point Viviana writes a note and has a runner go to try to find Alonso. Alonso, you haven't made it a secret where you're staying, correct?
I have not.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure that they have a place to send the runner. Okay.
Viviana and I danced the night away in this very place.
Oh no, that's fair. I forgot about that. Yes. So she knows exactly where to send them. Cool. We're gonna leave the ladies there, and pivot. Alonso, you are looking for taverns, yes?
Well, I'm looking for the member of my party who I was supposed to keep an eye on.
And
That's
you are looking in taverns, though?
taverns, inns, alleys,
Okay.
dumpsters.
Give me a wits and street navigation, please. Target number 10 to just find things, and target number, and if you want to like narrow down the list to likely culprits, add you'll narrow it down for every raise you take.
I will take 2 and get a 25.
Did you say that before you rolled?
Yes.
Okay. I will take your word on it because you said it and it immediately popped up almost at the same time for me. I'm just going to assume there's a delay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. You start out by nixing certain places that are on the lower end of like the patronage scale. Because while the good doctor might be totally down to drink and party wherever, he was with a woman who was at a very high end party. So if they went to one of these places, it was gonna be a place where she would not be. She's less likely to be unsafe, that sort of thing. Not quite as embarrassed to be seen there.
For sure.
And as you are doing that, you manage to run smack into Heinrich, who is in the process of leaving one of these places, looking even more dour and glowery than the Ison normally does. In fact, you almost run directly into that shiny breastplate of his.
Ah!
Oh,
Oh,
hello.
my Lord Heinrich. A lovely morning to you, sir.
Heinrich would make an excellent door, it occurs to you.
Not for the first time.
And, good morning to you as well. What brings you, out here at this time of the morning?
It dawned on me as I was enjoying my breakfast that I do not know how to reach anyone in our any of our friends other than the Reverend Doctor. He is not at the college, so I assumed he was drunk in an alley and decided to start looking.
Probably a well-reasoned, deduction.
And you, sir, do you frequent such establishments?
No, I fear I am also looking for a drunken man. Our companion from the evening, Raoul Cissé du Sucé, also failed to appear in the morning, so I have been searching for him.
Perhaps they are together.
It is possible.
Both handsome men. One could not forgive me.
Yeah, I've been searching the various drinking locations along this street, but I have not found any evidence of them as of yet.
Well, the Reverend Doctor departed in the company of a woman, so I assume he will take her someplace she would be comfortable, perhaps a little more impressive. And Raoul.
By himself heading in this direction. So I have very little idea where he could have found himself.
Lead on, sir. Let us see what we can find.
Yes, more than likely the two of them, either together or in different locations, have found themselves passed out in a drunken stupor in the company of a woman.
Indeed, we shall see.
All right. you two join forces. I'm not going to make you roll. Eventually we'll get to where you need to go. But first, we pivot to the good doctor. Alexander.
Yes.
You have a splitting headache and you're not entirely sure where you are, but there is something soft and warm next to you. It's not unpleasant.
Hello.
A young woman kind of rolls over with a little groan and buries her face at her pillow and proceeds to kind of do her best to ignore that you were awake and moving.
Was so hoping it was Raoul.
Yes. Water. Yes, water is important right now. And Alexander will stagger his way out of bed and look around to see if there is access to a water pitcher anywhere nearby.
There is a washstand near the door. You are at a nice enough place that they at least provide that much.
Brilliant.
You do notice, however, as you kind of like stagger across the room that you're not entirely sure where all of the clothes are, but they have ended up in almost every corner of the room and are tossed in quarters, draped over furniture. It's a lot, and it's a mess.
Must waltz less while... Yes. Less waltzing. Perhaps. Focus, Alexander. There we are, water.
And as you are indulging in the water, and trying to get yourself kind of like a little less foggy brained, there is a sharp rap at the door that does nothing to help your headache.
We are not taking guests at this time.
Monsieur, you have someone looking for you downstairs?
I will need you to be more specific.
There is a moment of hesitation. Well, there is a very large man in armor.
Oh.
And a smaller man with a sword. I mean, the big one also has a sword, if that's what it can be called.
Very well. If you will inform them that I am here and I shall be down. Looks back to the bed, sighs a little, eventually.
Yes, sir.
Merci.
The voice disappears. You hear retreating footsteps. Downstairs, Alonso, you and Heinrich were standing there after having been informed that a man fitting the description that you gave for Dr. Hutcheson had in fact arrived the night before in the company of a young woman. He returns. The man you are looking for says that he will be down eventually.
Eventually?
He sounded like he was just waking up.
Very well.
We could, looking over at Heinrich, we could accelerate that process for him. Just thought.
What do you propose?
Oh, simply that we could call upon him. Actually, looks past you. Are you familiar with the term, the hair of the dog that bit you?
I have some familiarity with the concept.
I believe today will be no less exciting than last night, and if we are to face it in force, A little bracing might be wise. While we wait.
Sir, yes, well, a good beer with breakfast is always nice.
Mm. You know, it is very similar to a good loaf of bread. The process by which it is made, I'm sure you know.
However, in my experience, the beer here in Montaigne is
Thin.
thin and of questionable flavor, but I suppose it's better than water.
Mm. Someday I hope you will try the Castilian wine and beers. They're more delicately crafted.
Well, I've tried it a few times and it was acceptable. So tell me, Alonso, I don't know that we've ever had a chance to speak. Any motions for the guy to bring him some drinks? What is it exactly that brings you to the city?
Charus it's legendary. It is a proud place, and I have heard much of it over the course of my life. I wanted to see something different. I believe life lived in one's own country can easily become boring. Experience outside can be a teacher.
Fair enough. I imagine going to the capital of a city that your nation's at war with would definitely not prove boring.
Indeed. Indeed. Have you followed the war at all?
Out of professional interest, yes.
And Montaigne clearly did pretty well. What do you think?
Well, they do have certain advantages that are hard to overcome, in my experience. They certainly hold a great edge in the ability to communicate and coordinate their troop movements. However, I found that their soldiers tend to be poorly trained.
One cannot have funds for an army and an entire city of gold, perhaps.
Yes, and their leadership tends to be rather brash and poor. However, there are certainly many of them. Their armies, they certainly have a large army.
Indeed. Numbers are a challenge. Though I suppose less so for you. I suspect that you could cleave several men with that weapon on your back.
Yes. Yes, I can.
If you would, might I examine it?
Certainly. And he removes it from his back and hands it over to you.
Alonso takes it and, as gently as he can, without showing that it's heavy, puts it on the table. Then,
It is very heavy.
yep, immediately struggling. Clunk. Pulls it out just like 6 inches or so to examine the base of the blade. Yeah, a sword that size, maybe a foot.
It's pretty plainly made. It doesn't have any fancy ornamentation or engraving. It's just very businesslike.
Is it the same Draca steel?
No.
A fine weapon. Clearly one Is this also an heirloom, or is this simply a tool?
No, I had this made. I've carried it for over 20 years now.
Impressive. For a sword to have lasted so long. Very impressive indeed. Clicks it back in. And I assume it has seen a great deal.
More than I care to remember.
You'll find me on the opposite side of my of my memories. For where experience and a different teacher, shall we say, is one motivation, I am too rare, I think, is the man who does what is right and must be done, in spite of danger to himself. I hope to be one.
Heinrich nods in agreement.
I would if you don't mind. It seems only fair. And he lifts up his own sword belt. You know what it takes to survive better than I. What do you think? Puts the sword on the table. Do I have a chance?
Heinrich will pick it up and examine the blade.
Yeah, tightly forged Soldano steel. Second best on the continent. The handle is carefully gripped to allow for an easy spin. And the hand guard is hooked, also for greater control.
Clearly a finely made blade. I expect that it will serve you well. Very quick. Reach is a little shorter than I would prefer, but truly an expertly crafted weapon.
Grazie. And do you think... Forgive me, I have imposed greatly upon you. But how does this business find you of the revelations yesterday night?
Well, it is a bit of a surprise that the young man was not where he was supposed to be. As far as the identity of our young female companion, it was definitely shocking. I mean, it was obvious that she was not traveling under her real identity after all. You know, someone of low birth would not have been betrothed to a member of one of the most prestigious families here in Montaigne. So the fact that it was not her true identity was no surprise, but her name and her particularities of her talents were quite shocking.
Indeed. The use of another name is simply a matter of security. But how many times have we locked eyes with a Strega in the past few days?
Much of what you hear about them is probably simply rumor, hearsay, or tales told to frighten small children. I would not worry overly much. She seems a pleasant enough young woman, perhaps not the sharpest arrow in the quiver, but she seems to mean well.
Your experience shows, sir. You speak as though you do not fear her, and I cannot say the same.
Well, I mean, I've lived near Vidace for much of my life. My lands are located near the border, so I've met a few of them before. And are no worse for wear.
Then let us hope it is the same again.
Alexander,
Yes?
how long are you going to make them sit and wait for you?
Not long. Alexander will sort out his clothes and hers, laying hers gently beside her on the bed. Come over to her. I beg your forgiveness, my princess. I must, but we must away, and I should summon you a carriage to see you home properly.
I don't want to get up.
I understand completely. However, there's a
Why
very
are
large...
you awake?
Because there's a very large Eisen swordsman downstairs who will eventually run out of patience and come through the door.
That could be fun.
He's not a fun person. Not in my experience, at any rate.
She's got those like half open, very tired eyes, and she kind of lifts her eyebrows and gives a little shrug. Oh, none of them are. Fine. I will get dressed. You go keep them busy so that they don't interrupt me.
I will. I shall endeavor to engage them in conversation while dwelling on everything that is going on up here. Mademoiselle.
Monsieur.
And dressed, organized, hair pulled back in the club, Alexander will head downstairs to find a couple of swordsmen just admiring their craft.
Alexander enters the room. He is dressed. He does look a little like he'd be happier if he were back in bed.
You have come seeking me out, you enemies of fun. Enders of joy.
Heinrich takes a big drink of beer and motions for the bartender to pour everyone another round.
Ah, brilliant.
He does so.
I am pleased to see that you were not stabbed in my absence. Would have reflected poorly upon my reputation.
He lifts the beer and says, quite the opposite, in fact. Takes a drink.
To doing the stabbing. Drinks.
May we? What are you doing here? You did not seriously come out just to make sure I was not dead in an alley.
I've been checking to make sure several people are not dead in alleys. I seem to have misplaced Raoul as well.
Oh. I can see where that might be hard on your betrothal.
It certainly would not be a good step forward. Did you by chance see him depart the party as well?
GM, did I clock Raoul before leaving?
You saw Raoul a couple of times through the night. You did not see him leave. You're unsure what time he left, but you did see him off and on throughout the party.
I saw him there, but I saw him there and I did not see him leave before I did.
Once your lady friend got your attention, there was very little noticing other things.
I confess I may have been distracted.
Did you, Yeah, never mind.
Did I what?
Did you,
Senor.
perhaps make plans to contact her again? Get her, the residence by which you might message her?
Well, we did a bit of stargazing, but insofar as perhaps communicating again, I'll let you know when she comes downstairs.
All right.
As you
Alonso
all
looks
are-
a little smug.
As you all are watching, you see the occasional worker here at the inn hurrying up the stairs with, some of them have buckets, one of them has a tray of food, that sort of thing.
We were discussing last night's events.
And what conclusions did you reach?
That Vedotians are liars and Isons are brave, and we all drank quite a bit. Does that roughly sum it, sir? Looks at Heinrich.
Seems a reasonable summation.
Clearly you're on your way to many a breakthrough.
It seems we are tasked by another enemy of fun.
Oh, indeed. The most dire enemy of fun, the one who can throw you in prison.
It is an interesting matter, and one I am tentative to engage.
I have some thoughts on that front. But perhaps we will return to my apartments at the university to discuss them. And
I'm afraid that I must continue to search for my missing future kinsman.
oh, indeed.
I fear my fiance will be quite angry with me if I've lost him.
And it is your relationship to your fiancé that plays heavily into my plans. So, yes, you should be about that, sir. If I should catch sight of him, how may he inform you of his location and/or well-being?
Well, I suppose sending a message to my residence would be the easiest way to do so.
Very well.
Perhaps I will join you.
There is
Locating
a
people who's there.
the barmaid comes over to top off drinks and set down a plate of like warm, kind of still steaming hot bread. And you could always send a run there and tell them to look for the biggest man in the city. And she kind of winks at Heinrich.
And he smiles a little, but doesn't respond. He clearly is flattered, but he's not interested in pursuing barmaids.
Howard!
Does this happen to you all the time?
From time to time. Women do seem to be attracted to men of greater height. However, I am engaged.
They pine for mountains to climb.
In my education, I read a paper, a theory that large things pull things towards them. And I believe, sir, you do in fact pull.
Well, if only I could pull in the drunken Montaigne noble I'm looking for.
Indeed. Well, as I say, I shall be happy to accompany you, or either of you. You could go talk to the. I don't know what to do.
Alonso, you have done your duty to me as I see it. You are heretofore discharged from your obligations. I thank you for your service, sir.
You are welcome.
How about this? Let us see. It is. What time is it? Let's look around to see what everyone's eating.
It's like mid-morning getting on lunch, so it's like brunch time.
Brilliant. Say around dinner, after lunch but before supper. Come to the university. I will attempt to contact our other companions so that they might join us there as well, and we may discuss the situation at hand. But that will give you some time to finish scouring the city for your wayward in-law.
Excellent. I will see you at the university.
Brilliant. I must await my lady friend so that I may see her into a carriage and safely home. Then from there I shall head back there if anyone has need of me.
Indeed.
As if on cue, while Heinrich and Alonso are gathering their things to go back out into the city, Alonso, are you headed back to your place, or are you gonna go help Heinrich some more, or?
Does Heinrich want my help? Would he ask for it?
Certainly, an extra set of eyes could never hurt. Yes, I would be grateful for your assistance.
Then I think I shall be helpful.
Okay. Cool. The two of you leave as a pretty but not Sylvia pretty. Young woman comes down the stairs. She looks a little tired, but fairly well put together, and is in a dress that she's very overdressed for the location, but wears it like it is the latest fashion, and everybody else is just behind in not dressing this way. She has that imperious, I know exactly what I'm doing, why aren't you up to snuff, carriage to herself. And she's making her way down the steps and spots Alexander and makes her way over to him as you two were leaving.
I meet her at the stairs and offer her my hand to bring her down the rest of the way and escort her out.
She will take it. You do, in fact, get her name and are told where she lives before you tuck her into a carriage and send her off on her way.
You may expect correspondence within the fortnight.
I shall. I will be very put out if I don't get it.
I shall make a point of it. Au revoir.
And the carriage pulls away and begins to carry her home. You head back to the university, yes?
Yes.
Okay. You head back to the university. Heinrich and Alonso continue their search for your erstwhile Montaigne companion. And eventually, after probably another 2 to 3 hours of searching various taverns and inns in the city, you find him in one of the seedier locations, still asleep under a table. With one arm wrapped around a mostly empty bottle of port.
Heinrich kind of splashes some sort of liquid in his face.
What are you doing?
Good morning.
Oh. Good morning,
Let it never be,
future
let it
cousin.
never be said that they do not party in Montaigne.
Of course we do. Best parties in the world.
Well, based on what I've seen so far, I can't disagree with you. However, I was slightly worried when no one knew where you ended up.
Where did I end up?
One of the shittier taverns in the city.
Oh. Okay.
And, check to make sure you still have all of your possessions.
He is crawling out from under the table. It does not take much to realize that he is still drunk.
We are roughly between the market and the harbor, a little north.
I am not missing any of my possessions.
Very good.
He doesn't like pat himself down or anything. He says it completely sure of himself.
Perhaps we should get you home. If you had been stabbed in an alley, I fear it would have gone quite badly with your niece.
If someone had tried to stab me in an alley, they would have found themselves in a very sore spot. But I appreciate that. He sort of goes to pat you on the shoulder, and it's clank, clank, clank. Oh, yes, armor. Pat, pat again. A little lighter this time.
Alonso will summon a carriage for him.
Thank you. Do you have need of me, or am I safe to go home and sleep?
No, you definitely should go home and sleep.
All right. First, more wine, and he toddles his way to the bar, you both watch as and hear as there is a ripping noise, and you watch as like it looks like a hole opens up in space next to him, and it looks like blood is dripping from it, and his hand disappears inside, and then comes out with a pouch of with what looks like a pouch of coins, from which he pulls out a few and puts them on the bar, and the little hole knits itself back up slowly.
Alonso puts his hand on his sword.
He doesn't seem to notice. He is very focused on ordering a bottle of wine.
And Heinrich just gives him a dirty look.
Let's go.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Yes, let's go.
Indeed.
Do you two leave without saying anything?
I mean, we'll try and get into the carriage. But,
Okay. All right. In that case, he's eventually given a bottle of probably the best wine this place has, but it's cheap by comparison to what he is probably accustomed to. But he doesn't seem to care. And he is drinking straight from the bottle as you, like, half lift him up into the carriage.
And I pay the guy, the carriageman, and give him instructions on where to send him, and see that he's off.
All right, he is carried off in his carriage. We are going to pivot back to the ladies.
Well, I sent a runner to alert Alonso. Go ahead.
I have one other thing I need to attend to.
What is it?
You have agreed to stay with me and help me for some reason. I want to ensure that the ones who helped me out of Vodace are taken care of as well.
That is understandable.
How long do we think a runner is going to take to find Alonso?
They have to just go and then come back. So probably not super long. In fact, you would expect them kind of any minute. It would have been less than an hour. I'm assuming that you two have kind of like chatted a little bit, maybe eaten some actual breakfast while we were dealing with the boys.
At some point today, I need to go back to where I was staying and warn my friends.
Okay, well, wait until there's someone to accompany you. Ideally, it could. I mean, if you intend to hire Alonso, it could be him. I just would not suggest walking around Montaigne by yourself.
I suppose. Viviana.
Yes.
Your servants. Their servants were acting a bit strangely today.
Well, they are not my servants, but strangely how?
Is something wrong with my feet?
Viviana will look down at Lucia's feet.
No, nothing seems wrong with them at all. They just seem like feet.
They seem like feet to me. So I don't have any particular opinion about them.
They're being odd about it.
Odd about your feet?
I don't know how to explain it. I don't know.
I can tell them not to stare at your feet if that would make you more comfortable.
Perhaps you could ask why. I had assumed they were your servants. Are they not your servants?
This is not my house. I am from Vodace.
How did you get this house?
I know people.
Well, as the lady of this house, I assumed you could ask.
I am a lady of the house. I can certainly ask. Do you want me to ask now?
Yes.
Okay. Viviana will, giving Lucia a bit of a side eye, will go out of the room flag down one of the servants she thinks would have like attended to Lucia earlier in the day and just ask.
Are you asking about why they're staring at her feet?
She phrases it as, Lucia is... She doesn't say Lucia. She says, my guest is concerned that you found something to be wrong with her legs, specifically her feet, earlier on, and she told me to ask about it. Viviana just kind of shrugs, like she doesn't know what's up.
Make a wits and etiquette roll. You don't get your pretty bonus for this, because this is just like trying to see if servants are going to talk to you, and being pretty has nothing to do with that. You're looking for a target number 20.
A target number 20.
Without your looks bonus.
Oh, that is without my looks bonus.
Ah, okay. Well, I hadn't given you your target number. You guys have got to wait or ask, please. Reroll again. Sorry, I feel bad. I'm not gonna screw you over because I hadn't given you a target number.
Okay. We will see. Oh my god.
Okay. 25. Roll again. Roll one again because it's a 10. All right. The servant that you are talking to in particular is one of the maids, and she blushes and looks a little bit shamefaced. Madame, a few of us were in the market this morning before the house began to wake up, doing our shopping, and there was a rumor that your guest had gone to a ball without shoes on because her feet were too large for any lady's shoes.
Well, that rumor is nonsense. You have seen her feet. They are perfectly fine.
Well, yes, ma'am, we have seen them now.
Viviana just sighs, and it's a very long, very weary sigh. Well, thank you for your honesty.
Of course, mademoiselle. Can we get you anything, or do I need to have a carriage called?
No, don't call for a carriage just yet.
All right.
Viviana will return to Lucia and say, This is what happens when you go around acting crazy and looking crazy at the same time.
Chandler and Tola never had to deal with this.
There is a rumor that you went to the party without shoes because your feet were too big for them.
Well, that's... Well, no.
Yes. Oh, no, indeed.
How long could that rumor last?
It may not last long if you do not do such a thing again.
Perhaps someone will do something more scandalous.
Perhaps. We can only pray.
Also, have you tried to run on cobblestones in those shoes? It was necessary.
There was no need to run at all. We could have just gone back in the carriage. You didn't have to do that.
It was of the utmost importance.
Viviana just shakes her head. Well, before the runner returns, hopefully with Alonso, you enjoy music, yes?
Yes.
Okay. There is something I wanted to show you. Viviana will lead Lucia to her room where Sposa is.
Sposa is there, and she gives a little twittering song when the door opens and she sees you.
Viviana will open the cage and let Sposa hop onto her finger.
She will do so.
Sposa is very vocally gifted, as you may have ascertained already. And when combined with my own talents, I find that we make quite the interesting pair for a duet.
Buongiorno.
I can't whistle, but we will say that Sposa kind of sings back at the same tempo as the way that you said buongiorno.
Oh,
Tempo
that's
and
sweet.
pitch.
Does he talk as well?
She does not speak, but believe me, she has plenty of opinions, don't you?
She tweets back at you in that kind of low, kind of sassy tone that you tend to get with people.
Yes. One day I will ask you what you think of Lucia when she is not here. She gives Sposa a little kiss on the head.
She peeps back.
She's very sweet. What did you say her name was?
Sposa.
Lucia will sing a couple notes of Vodachan song to see what the bird does.
Roll me wits and musician. Oh, it's technically for mandolin, but you also have singing, I assume, that you could put together a song on the fly.
I have singing.
I know. This is more about can you do it in a pitch and a tone that a bird can kind of accommodate. So I'm allowing you to use musician because it's a slightly bigger die pool. We're going for target number 15.
I got to. Well,
well, you met it, so it's fine. What's your kept for that?
Oh, 2.
Okay.
So actually, it would be 16.
Yes, which is fine. You met it. You hum a little song, and Sposa kind of does that thing that birds do, where she kind of dances from one foot to the other on Viviana's finger, and then mimics it back. Oh, not quite perfectly, but very, very close.
That's very sweet.
Yes, it is very sweet. She is very talented. Oh, watch this. And Viviana will proceed to sing as well in a tone that she knows that Sposa can copy. I assume it's reasonable to say that Viviana and Sposa have done this little duet back and forth sort of thing before.
Oh, absolutely.
And she will sing a Vodachan song.
Sposa will immediately pick up on what is happening, and will duet along with you. And there are moments, Lucia, where they are actually in harmony.
Enraptured, absolutely enraptured. Yeah, no, she just Lucia just is delighted by this.
When it's over, Viviana will give Sposa a nice scritch, on her back in a spot that she knows Sposa enjoys having her feathers scritched. You are so beautifully talented, my dear.
Sposa gives a little wiggle and then kind of pecks very gently at your hand, like she is looking for seed for treats. because that is supposed to be her payment for performing. That being said, as this is happening, the rudder returns. Mademoiselle?
Oh, yes.
The inn where he is staying says that he left in the morning.
Oh, well,
Of course, he makes this more difficult.
yes, that does seem like he would be the type. Viviana returns Sposa to her cage.
Is there a reason she's named Sposa?
Of course there is a reason. It is because she is the ideal Vodachan wife. Pretty,
How-
in a cage, to be heard when the owner lets them out.
Lucia gives you a face that looks like she is very obviously a little heartbroken by that.
Not my opinion of the ideal Vodachan wife, but, well, you have seen the country we come from.
No, I understand. If Alonso is going to be too hard to wait for, perhaps we could go to the inn ourselves.
Yes, we could. I will call for a carriage. Well, I will have a servant call for a carriage.
Thank you for watching Opus de Requiem. If you enjoy this story, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to follow more of our content. You can find all of our actual plays on our website at www.hallowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hallowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make more stories like this possible. For the sake of expediency, we will say that the carriage is brought and the ladies load up and head back to the inn where Lucia has been staying.
I don't want to take too long, but I do need to get my things if I'm to stay with you.
Well, that's perfectly fine.
It is worth noting that it is the middle of the day, so none of your companions are there. They're all out performing in the city because that's what they came here to do.
It's probably better then that they're not here. Can you write a letter?
Yes.
Lucia's gonna go to her room that she's been sharing with Giselle and Fritzy and to get her things.
Okay.
And she'll have Viviana come with her. It's
Your
a lot.
things are there.
And then she'll, if she can, find some like paper and charcoal. Probably drawing supplies somewhere.
Yeah, that's not difficult.
Tell them that this should be enough for everything, and then enough to leave town.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I put them in danger.
All right.
And then from a pouch that she pulls from her things, Lucia's going to pull 100 guilder and fold it up in a handkerchief and stuff it under the mattress.
Just for
Viviana.
reference, so Viviana is aware that that is a lot of fucking money.
Viviana stares at the pouch for a moment and says, "Are you sure you want to leave that much behind?"
They do not know Vodachan wrath.
Okay. It is your decision.
I want to give them the incentive to leave town in spite of the fact that this is a good place to work.
Okay. Viviana will pen down what Lucia has told her to pen down.
And then in the letter she will also ask for you to add a note about actually no, she won't. Lucia will put the gilder in one of the other girls' things.
Okay.
So that they don't have to go searching for it.
You are able to do all of this quite easily, assuming that you ask for help from people who work at the inn. They will help you to haul your things out into the carriage that is waiting for you downstairs.
And then the last thing she does is draw a little butterfly in the corner of the letter for them.
Cute.
Yeah, that's all she needed to do.
Okay. I'm assuming you are going to head next to the university?
Yes.
Yes.
And then have the carriage take the stuff onward to the chateau.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lucia takes very special care. There are 2 cigar boxes that she were in her things, and she puts them on the seat of the carriage and tells one of the footmen, "Guard these with your life."
They give the cigar boxes a little look, but nod and agree.
That's all.
Okay, and you are onward to the university. Dr. Hutcheson, you have no sooner gotten back to your rooms with Alonso and Heinrich in tow that your erstwhile fellow academic returns looking vexed with a couple of young women in tow. And like he is tired of being the person who keeps having to get the door for your guests.
So there should have been, I think, at least a time lapse, because I went back to the university while they went to find Raoul.
Yes.
And then they were going to come find me at like dinner time.
Yeah. There was a time lapse. I'm
Okay.
skipping over big chunks of the day because there
Perfect.
wasn't anything important happening.
Perfect. Just so that the Reverend Doctor is squared away, he is shaved and made himself presentable.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Everybody has congregated at about dinner time. And there is a light meal on the table in this research room.
Welcome. Please enjoy yourselves. How are we all feeling?
I have normal-sized feet, correct?
It is just a
Yes.
rumor. It will fade with time.
Alonso almost looks at Lucia and then stops himself.
Oh,
Your feet are perfectly normal. Fret ye not.
Alonso, may I speak with you privately?
Is there a particular matter you wish to discuss?
Employment.
I see. He looks around the room.
Do you want me to come with you? She's looking at Lucia when she says this.
I will call for you if I need you, but I do not think Alonso would hurt me in so austere a place as this.
Not without considerable cost. And I do not...
Oh, go ahead.
I do not think that you will provide it. He'll make my way to follow.
And as they walk out, you notice Heinrich looking at Lucia's feet because he never really looked at them before.
They seem like perfectly normal-sized feet. The only issue is that she's in far fancier shoes than the dress she is wearing calls for. Calls for?
So,
And Lucia has put aside. It's going to be really insulting now. Lucia pulls out a small pouch of gilder and kind of shakes it so that he can hear it. I would like to employ your services as a bodyguard.
indeed. And what could give you the sense that you might need one?
She just looks at him.
No, we shall have communication if we are to be employed together.
Your reaction to me, the reaction that the Grand Dame had to me, and the aforementioned amount of angry Vidachans who may show up at any time while I am looking for my betrothed.
So an accumulation of enemies is what you are concerned about. Still not quite meeting her eye.
Yes, an accumulation of enemies. It is hard to speak to you when you do not look at me.
It is hard to look at you when I have heard what you can do.
I cannot hurt you.
I do not believe that.
Alonso, I would not be asking for you to protect me if I wanted to hurt you.
At this juncture, I would like us. Can we do a roll about this? Because I don't know if Alonso's going to get over himself, and this feels like a good place for dice.
I've actually got one more pitch. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
Lucia sort of sighs and like covers her eyes. Alonso, it is not just that I need a bodyguard. You are Vatasine, yes?
I am.
As the Reverend Doctor is incredibly useful and kind and has been very helpful in all of this, but I worry about his influence.
His influence. In what respect?
As a heretic.
Indeed.
We both agree that I am already 1 foot to damnation by nature of what I am. I would not wish for the Reverend Doctor's influence to push me further. I would like to employ you as bodyguard and good counsel.
Alonso's gonna step a little closer. I see. You have... I see. And you are asking for my help to protect you from the physical and the spiritual.
Yes. I do not think anyone else is suited for this.
Alonso,
Mhm.
as you think through this proposal that is put in front of you, Lucia is not aware of what is happening, but in your mind's eye, you are reminded of waking up in an alley, beaten and bloody and bruised, and staggering out into the street to find the body of a woman hanging from a crossbeam in front of a building. Her body nearly burned beyond recognition, but you know it's her because you recognize the blue hue of the dress that she was wearing by a corner that was not completely destroyed. The last time someone asked you for help, you failed them. Are you willing to let that happen again?
Alonso reaches up slowly, takes the hand that Lucia is using to cover her face, brings it down into both of his, and says, I accept. If by my life or my death I can protect you, it will be so. And then reverently leans forward and kisses the hand.
Grazie. I think Lucia blushes a lot. This will end up being very easy. In that case, we can discuss payment. I can offer you a guilder a day.
That would I actually don't know how much I'm paying for room and board.
We will work it out.
Not
Indeed.
much. You're not in one of the nicer places, so.
Indeed, that would be... Thank you. To the matter of your future husband?
Just until we find him.
After you.
Yeah, and we'll head back.
Alonso will pause briefly to say to himself, what did I just agree to? And then...
We should have Dr. Hutcheson at least come up with some written contract, because I do think I'm overpaying you now.
I do not, honestly, I don't think so.
And we'll head back in.
Okay. Back in the room, while this was happening, were the three of you talking about anything in particular, or were you simply enjoying the meal?
Did you find Raoul?
And Heinrich lets out a big sigh. Yes, I found him exactly where I expected to find him, in one of the lowest taverns in the city, passed out drunk.
Well,
Oh, speaking of Raoul, I have an arrangement with him.
What sort of arrangement would that be?
Viviana looks at Heinrich and gives him a wink.
the kind one does not inquire about at polite dinner conversation, apparently. More sherry.
Please.
Heinrich, I was going to ask you to take me to see him soon.
That is a phenomenal idea. Quite capital. And we'll wait for the others to return. I have an idea.
And as if on cue, this is about the time they return.
Oh, splendid, splendid.
Not dead.
The tension between them visibly diffused somewhat.
Yes.
And employment arrangements have been made? Yes?
Yes, although perhaps we will get something in writing just to ensure that everything is fair.
Very well. So we do need to find Henri.
Yes.
We have permission to search his apartments, yes?
I think so.
And his cell?
I've been thinking about that. I don't know much about the Sorcier Porte of this country, but I know that they are capable of moving distances. But I
Surely,
don't- Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
surely
Please.
the dungeon does not would. The dungeon is Montaigne. Would they not would they not guard against Montaigne sorcery?
I cannot answer that because I do not know how the Montaigne sorcery works. Therefore, we need to ask an expert. And I was thinking of Raoul.
He appears to be well versed in sorcery, as we saw today.
He can perform it while deeply intoxicated.
Splendid.
He's sure.
Then I think perhaps we might start with this. Because I cannot fathom. I was thinking about this when I was awake at some indecent hour of the morning. I cannot imagine that anyone would have allowed him to simply walk out. That would risk crossing the Duchess in a way that could easily be traced and bring doom upon their heads.
I agree. They would not allowed him to simply walk out. But if your intention is to seek aid from Raoul, there is one thing that I would remind you, which is his family and the Cisse du Cisses are apparently quite bitter of enemies, as I learned.
Oh, as a matter of fact, that is exactly what I'm counting on. Because if the Cisse du Cisse are responsible for finding the young Monsieur Roarain, that will be a most uncomfortable truth for Her Grace to have to face. And possible motivation for them to be helpful without perhaps demanding too much of us in return.
An excellent point. However, since I've been living in Montaigne, I find myself developing quite a suspicious mind, and I'm not entirely unconvinced that they might not have been the ones who removed him from the dungeon.
Well, if that is so, unless you think they would have reason to keep it from us, certainly enlisting your affianced in assisting you in this quest to help true love find one another would probably be in keeping with the way you described the demands that were being put upon you, Herr von Graf.
It would certainly not hurt.
And you already have an interlocutor, he says, gesturing to Viviana, who has an arrangement with Monsieur Cissé de Cissé. So perhaps the two of you together could get into the house and have that conversation.
Yep, I agree. It seems the most logical step, and I suppose I should start spending more time with my fiancée.
Usually a recommended practice. Depends on the marriage.
Depends very heavily on the marriage.
Please spend time with your fiance.
I intend to. While this marriage was not entirely of my choice, I intend to be as good a husband to her as I can.
Well said, sir. Now, Senor Hernandez, it is, if I recall correctly, you said you had spent some of your early moments here in Charus with people who were not of the nobility.
This is true. I was able to make several friends upon arrival who introduced me to a merchant group of some very interesting characters. Intelligent and politically active, I would say.
I was hoping you would say that, because it strikes me that a young nobleman who is straining at the leash, so to speak, of having to speak well of l'Empereur may find himself with supporters in such corners.
Very true.
It could be examined. I would make one other proposal.
Go on.
The Grand Dame is a force. A
Yes.
parent who exerts such force upon their family, such control, draws out certain responses, but often allegiance among the children. Is it not the musketeers who guard the prison? Is not their captain the other child of the Grand Dame? And has not love been shown to exist in their family even when it is denied? I suggest that
I
the
follow
young
you.
captain is...
Go on, please.
I suggest that the young captain has perhaps rescued his brother from imprisonment.
That would be a very serious charge to level at the captain of the Musketeers.
I agree.
But here's my thought to begin with. Would be that you and Signorina, I think in the interim, your proclamations of your true identity notwithstanding, I think it would do us all well if we were to continue to refer to you as Signorina La Traviata, just to reduce the number of ears that overhear things.
No, I understand. There is a cold clarity that comes with failure.
And so if Senor Hernandez and Signorina La Traviata were to go seeking young Henri, armed with some knowledge of the political backrooms and a most impassioned plea when perhaps not directed at old battle axes. I think you may see some success there. And if you two undertook that one and Herr von Groth and the Lady Francesca went to see the Cissé de Soussé, I would, for the moment, essentially camp here because I suspect that in the next day or two, the whole story of that party will begin to work its way through the rest of the city. And if it turns out that Henri has any allies, or we were to discover allies, which would just be people who don't like the Duchess, quite frankly, I am the one person most easily found among the five of us.
While this is happening, I would like Viviana and Alonso to please make me raw wits rolls. Target
Okay.
number 15, please. Actually, not wit. Let's make it resolve.
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember if Viviana has any more drama dice.
Nope, I do not.
Okay. As this is all being discussed, Alonso, when the good doctor brought up your time spent with, let's say, the common folk who might be chafing a little bit at their situation, and he's talking about wanting to speak to Raoul, you suddenly remember you had seen Raoul before ever meeting the rest of the group.
He was there.
He was.
Monsieur, Doctor. I think perhaps we shall, the phrase is two birds with one stone.
Go on.
Monsieur Raoul has allegiances with the same interested parties where I partied.
That's
Indeed.
Viviana.
Neither of you
He's a
spoke to him, but you
character.
did see him there.
I was just going to say, Viviana looks at Alonso and then thinks back on that particular night.
curious.
You certainly could have seen him, but you don't fully remember. To be fair, you had just finished a very long bit of travel, and had literally just arrived at the house, not expecting there to be a big event like this.
I think perhaps we should have Monsieur Cissé de Soussé in for a, well, let's be honest, we could call it dinner, but it will end up being a wine tasting, all things considered.
Indeed. Perhaps we have an expert present?
All eyes turn to Lucia.
Yes. However, I do not think he is that discerning.
Then your job will be easier.
It's
Fine.
not. It is, in fact, the opposite of his discretion that we are interested in, so.
It should not be hard.
All right. So, the plan then would be to start for Herr von Groth and the Lady Francesca to pay a call on the Cicé de Cicé, Signor Hernandez and Signorina La Traviata to make new friends, and then perhaps a quieter, more private meeting with our new friend Raoul to see if we cannot drum up a few more leads as to where we might be able to find this young man.
You can invite him to my residence. That will not arouse any suspicions.
Indeed.
I am amenable.
As am I.
All right then.
Splendid. It is a plan. Now, let's eat.
Oh, Alonso, I do need to talk to you.
And you, I believe.
All right, you all engage in dinner, finish up your meal, and then Viviana and Alonso step to the side before people start heading out.
First, I must ask, for I feel I would be remiss if I did not. Are you a strega?
No, I am a courtesan.
Good. Thank you. Now, what did you wish?
I just wanted to apologize.
And apologize for what?
I perhaps should be more discerning with my forwardness in the future.
Have you spent any time in Castile?
Viviana chuckles. That's not what I meant. Next time I call you a good boy, it will not be after you have been deceived by another Vodachan woman.
You see Alonso go entirely from one setting to another. I see. Oh. I see. Well, the evening was dramatic in many respects. Much was said, and in saying done, and indeed, we shall see.
Yes, we shall see. I will say, though, if you do hurt Lucia, I will cut your sword in half. And she winks at him and walks away.
Well, passion. I admire passion. I'm going to fucking die here.